Talking a little bit more news here. We're going to have a good story to talk about, and that is that retail healthcare is creating new real estate opportunities. We're seeing a move away from the standalone medical campuses. We're seeing healthcare providers moving into retail spaces. They're trying to take a benefit of the foot traffic, the convenience, the accessibility. We're seeing them in competition with bricks and mortar retailers. This is triggering a race for premium retail space. It's making the retail landscape a big player in healthcare. That's pharmacies, it's grocery stores, it's pop-up clinics. Those are becoming the center for healthcare service. This is really about providing convenience, accessibility, an experience that's more retail friendly, more consumer friendly. And this is driving up an increase in demand for retail space. Really kind of a new dynamic here that a lot of players who were dismissing retail as dead didn't see coming. Your thoughts on this new trend we're seeing?
Well, you started by saying sexability, and I started thinking you got to be careful with that in retail shopping centers. I mean, I know some NFL owners that may have gotten arrested for doing some sexability in a retail shopping center. But it's interesting that you say that because some of the properties that we own are in Miami and have a lot of medical tenancy. And as part of what we do in our research to keep those tenants happy and attract new medical tenants is look what else is in the market. And some of the competition that we've been seeing has been these strip centers that are opening up their spaces and trying to do storefront medical and retail. So it is a trend that we're aware of and that we're seeing. Part of the issue that we're finding our competitors have is that the glass storefront, it's not attractive. The tenants are finding that pedestrians don't like going in and out of it. The visibility is not as great as they'd like. The foot traffic is not what they anticipated being. It's not like going into a super mega mall and going into a former Sears big block. And even then, if I'm going to the doctor, do I want to walk through the food court, which probably screws up my fasting before my blood work, or the clothing stores that I might want to stop and impulse shop or any of that stuff? Or, let's say it's a different type of medical clinic that you don't want people to know about, and you're walking past everyone to get there. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, but I'm
I
kind of
think that's
rambling.
the
So
accessibility. Is
that
that what
there
you're
you
you're
go.
talking about there?
That could be it.
It's interesting. I'll add to that. I don't think I really considered it from the side of foot traffic, and I actually don't know that I think I can see some of it, maybe because it gives somebody some notoriety, like, hey, we're here. This is what we do, but we're in a retail center. So, to Zach's point, you may not have people that want to share their health to the world and let them know, just from the off chance of they may run into somebody. And the other side is from a truly retail asset perspective, you're talking about triple net leases. You're talking about retailers that have prime space that may or may not want to divide up space. So now you're getting more space than you need. You're paying more in a price per square foot than you need. Blah blah blah. It goes on and on and on. I get it. I get it for maybe even like podiatrists, things like that. But true healthcare, um, I think you're talking like urgent care more than true specialized healthcare.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm actually the area I'm living is bit older than most, a bit more affluent than most, and I'm really seeing in my neighborhood. I'm seeing a lot of medical popping up and largely premium spaces, sometimes entirely new spaces. But the look and feel is different than what you think of it in terms of a mall. This really doesn't
Yeah.
work in terms of taking like your common space or your low end space. We're really talking about new builds here, premium spaces. They're spending the capex to reconfigure stuff. One of the things I would say here is it really proves that old adage of if you want to make money, follow the baby boomers, right? That it's a giant generation and it's always driven consumer trends and spending. And as they age, we're just going to see more of this. We're going to see healthcare be a bigger proportion, and real estate's not going to be an exception. So I know it's something we do when we look at properties. We look at the demographics, and if anything, this just makes what we're already doing more important, even more important to understand your demographics, age, affluence, population. And I think what you're going to see is those areas with really positive demographics in terms of consumers with money to spend are going to be doing well, but we're just going to see some of the mix of services shift more to healthcare in some of these areas that are have an older population in them.